Elon Musk just unveiled Macrohard, a joint project between Tesla and his AI startup, xAI, and said it is a system capable of emulating the functions of software companies, not software engineers, software companies. Let's talk about it.
This Macrohard is a play on Microsoft. And originally, when it was announced by Elon, he did say that it was meant to be an alternative to Microsoft Office. And now, because we haven't heard about it in quite some time, it's evolved quite a lot as a concept. As you were saying, it's meant to be a partnership between Tesla and xAI. And what the intention is to be able to replace white collar work. What it's going to be able to do is to be able to record screens, look at human behavior, being able to eventually automate it in such a way that all of this stuff that we see analysts do and what's happening with a lot of this white collar work, it's going to be automated and it's going to be at a relatively easy and low cost, $1,000 a month relative to $100,000 a year. And so the economic model is really interesting in my opinion. But at the same time, this is something that we hear about agentic work so frequently. I'm kind of curious, do you see that this is a different competitor to all the other agents that are out there? Or is it just the Elon effect?
Elon effect. It's always the Elon effect. I'm not saying the rest of it isn't real, but I'm saying the Elon effect makes up like 90% of it. He still has such a large following that if and when he does decide to run for political office, I think it's an easy win for him. But that aside, if it can do what he says it can do in the timeline that he says he can do it in, which is a big if for Elon, then maybe we are looking at something that's a breakthrough. I'm just really surprised he's even thinking about this because I thought he was all in on space now. I thought that was his entire focus. So is this just a distraction? Is this just something because Elon hasn't been in the news for like 17 milliseconds and he was feeling the itch? Or is it because there's actual value? I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out. And that's probably what you were asking me too. Like, if this is happening, is there any value in it?
I mean, I would assume that there's a lot of value. I'm a big believer in agentic work. I think that there's frankly a lot of jobs that probably need to be automated or will be automated even if it doesn't need to be. And that's just because the technology can do it. Maybe not well, maybe not today, but it's happening and we're definitely on the trajectory for that. At the same time, I am constantly thinking about, okay, well, what makes one agent better than another? And eventually there's going to be a convergence. And that's what we're seeing with AI models right now, right? We see there's not much of a difference for us regular users of models between one model and the other. Sure, we have our preferences and sure, we've baked in a lot of data into one or the other. But in large part, the capacity is relatively the same. And I assume that agents and agentic behavior is going to see a similar convergence, or we're going to see what OpenClaw allows us to do, which is being able to separate the model that is fueling it from the agent. And so again, I'm kind of curious about what's going to happen specifically with this venture. There's a couple of things that I thought were really peculiar though. It is a joint venture between Tesla, a publicly traded company, and xAI, which has now been folded into SpaceX. So the question that I have is that done strategically? Because I also realize that this is a lever that he will probably want to call upon in the future. So let's say the bet works and his shareholders at Tesla don't want to give him the pay packages that he always asks for. Would he just give more of the ownership or more of the revenue or more of the value over to SpaceX where he has more control?
Good question. And I also like that you're talking about the pay package because a lot of people think that Elon Musk is an altruist and doesn't do it for money, but he is a human. He's incentivized by the same things we are. And while he says he cares about things that are truly going to move humanity forward, pay packages in the trillions of dollars and billions of dollars also don't hurt. So I definitely think it's a valid point. Another thing that I think could have been the case is that he realized Tesla probably has maybe the man-woman power. It has the operational back end and maybe the bandwidth to take on this work, whereas SpaceX is still very much focused on getting to space. But Tesla misses the AI capabilities. So what better way than to license xAI? Maybe it's a license deal. Maybe it is a real partnership. It sounds like it's going to be a partnership. But either way, to have access to those capabilities and not have to worry about any red tape, not worry about going to any competitors, but keep it as much as he can relatively in-house. Maybe he just did this because it was easy.
Yeah, it's a fair point. And in fact, one thing that we know about Tesla and the direction that the company's moving, it's going to be much less about cars, a bit more about autonomous vehicles. It's also going to have the humanoid robot. And it's very much meant to be a company focused on replacing human labor. That's the purpose of the humanoid robot. Why not take that one step further and focus on the software element? And one of the reasons that I was thinking about it is because if you also do automate that piece from a software perspective, it's the basis of physical AI. So all of that work that's going in towards robotics, it needs training data. And being able to film people that are in front of a screen and to be able to automate all of this allows you to be able to have enough coverage and enough data to be able to move outside of the software realm and back into the hardware realm. This morning, I was just reading about Pokemon, and it's a game I've never played. I've never have been interested in playing. But if you think about the billions of photos that they have been able to capture around the world that is now going to be their treasure trove of data that they are now packaging and preparing for autonomous vehicles and driving. And so this data has been a new package of data that they realize that it has a great deal of value and they're moving into. So I can see a lot of this is also about this creation of data that is a pretty interesting direction to go in.
I think we need to do an episode focused purely on Pokemon, its evolution, its now data plays, its marketing assets, everything. We should do that because I have never even thought about it from that perspective. It's all about finding, I don't know, Snorlax or Charmeleon. Yes, I was a Pokemon kid.
I was going to say, whoever those are, yeah.
But definitely worth investigating.
Another thing that I also read, because you were talking about Elon and the Elon effect, is apparently recently influencers are leaving Tesla and they are no longer advocating for the company. And this is, again, something that I read this morning. It seems as though that they are no longer happy with his politics, with all of his other positioning that he's taken, and it's become too contentious. And influencers are starting to leave Tesla and focus on other companies and other brands and other products. And I think this is an interesting difference because, in fact, last week, you and I were just talking about the fact that most people have forgotten about Elon in 2025 and his antics and the things that he got up to. And so I think this is an interesting twist in the plot. I don't know if it's going to last very long because people do converge back, but I'm kind of curious to see how this goes.
I'm curious as to who these influencers are. I don't think they're tech influencers. They're probably like daily lifestyle influencers. And because everything in the US is political, and I'm assuming this is politics related, as you mentioned, I wonder if they're on the left or on the right side, because Elon's been across both sides. He's angered both sides. He angered the left for very obvious reasons last year with his entire Doge antics and gutting a lot of what people and humanity, or at least the US, has come to rely upon. So I understand that. But then we also know that President Donald Trump had the whole Tesla campaign at the White House, and he was encouraging everyone to buy Teslas. And then 3 seconds later, President Donald Trump said it was like the worst vehicle ever. No one should buy it. And all the people on the right who had purchased Teslas didn't know what to do with them anymore. So I have seen across my feeds people from across the left and right spectrum. Maybe this is a bipartisan issue. Just sell off their Teslas, burn their Teslas. Maybe this is the one thing America can agree upon.